Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Precipice of Delusion. I am your host, Julian Gavilanes. Thank you for being here. How are you feeling? Summertime swing is in full effect. I hope you are enjoying the heat, the weather, the vitamin D, wherever you are. I'm sending you lots of love. I appreciate you being here with me. It means a lot. I'm having a great time making these episodes, putting this content out into the world, and just sharing my point of view with all of you and getting to observe and absorb other people's points of view as well for my own educational purposes. It's really been a profound experience for me to get to talk to people and ask them the questions that I've been curious about for so long that I've really just suppressed, right? Things about being in this industry. I'm an actor, and so not everybody that I talk to is an actor. And even if they are an actor, it's not necessarily the same experience shared. You know, we're all individuals. We all have our own unique journey through doing everything. And not only just in working as an artist, but in every occupation in the world. And not only just occupation, but every pursuit, every experience. We're all having our own unique experience walking through this world. And I have been getting more and more curious as I have grown up, and the older that I've gotten, the less that I have understood. You know, it's that cliche thing about, the more you know, the less you know. Is that what it is? No. The I think it's the thing. I think the first thing I realized that I actually knew was that I didn't know anything at all. And that's the first indication of some wisdom, I think. Because when you're young, you think you just kind of have it all figured out. You don't know any better. You're not connected to any kind of reality that would allow you to recognize anything outside of your own experience. And so you're just kind of self-absorbed and in that space and cruising through life and partying and having fun and trying to be trying to be the framework for whatever it is that you think you want to represent in the world. And the older you get, the more you kind of like shed some of those layers, some of those like pieces of that framework, and realize that like the soul that you possess is a really beautiful thing. And if you can really harness that thing and learn how to utilize it for the purpose of connection or for the purpose of creation or of service or of whatever that thing might be in pursuit of something positive, it's a really wonderful thing. And it can also be a tricky thing and a scary thing, because sometimes you wind up naked running down the streets being like, whoa, dude, how the fuck did I get here? This is crazy, metaphorically speaking. It's just like, man, I feel exposed. I am exposed right now and I don't know what to do. But, it's just reeling it in, reeling it. Try to say that. Reeling it in. There you go. Reeling it in. And yeah, just being thoughtful about who you are and what you're trying to put out there. Your words matter. Your actions matter more. Who you are is your choice. And it's a beautiful opportunity. It's a beautiful privilege to get to be alive, Shoot, man. I don't really know where I was going with that, but I'm feeling I'm just feeling really thoughtful these days. I'm feeling really kind of like pensive in my own experience, and I'm feeling like I have a lot of just like new emotions coming up for myself that I think I haven't been able to express in my past. And I've been curious about why that is. I've been doing a lot of therapy. I've been doing a lot of interpersonal work. I've been doing some interpersonal work for a while now. I think at the turn of my 30th birthday, 8 years ago, I turned 38 on June 22nd. So it wasn't too long ago. And yeah, at the turn of my 30th birthday, I really had some like decisions that I had to make. I didn't have to, but I chose to. I was interested in making those decisions, and they have really kind of stayed with me as these big kind of pillars for my own growth. And yeah, I've been navigating all of that space with myself, and it's been interesting. I've been I've just been so like curious about why I am the way I am and how I have become this version of myself, and how I can continue to expand the good parts and reduce the parts that hurt and make me feel small or weak or in fear. And so these are the things that I've been paying attention to. Faith, the idea of faith. Guys, I should probably let you know that I actually don't have a guest on today, and I decided that I just really wanted to do a check-in, with myself, with you guys, um, and just kind of take some space to just talk about where I'm at and how I'm feeling, and check in with you guys, see if you guys are resonating with any of this stuff. And I just thought, because this podcast doesn't have any real rules, I could do whatever the hell I wanted to do. And so this is where I am, and this is what I'm choosing to do. Um, I dug into a lot of podcasts right away. I did like 20 in the first couple of weeks. And so I've just been like, getting those out and producing those. And it's been fun. And I've had some new conversations, and I've had a bunch of conversations, this last week that have been really wonderful. And I'm excited for you guys to listen to them. But I wanted to just kind of sit with myself and be honest and transparent with some of the discomforts and the joys and the feelings that I have been going through, because there's been a lot of heaviness, and there's been a lot of gratitude, and there's been a lot of kind of like highs and lows in the last few months for me. And I, yeah, just kind of wanted to process some of that on this episode. And so if you don't mind, click, you're off. The episode's over. If you're still with me, thank you. I appreciate you being here. I'll try to make this as streamlined and as inconsequential as I possibly can. Yeah, I've been playing a lot with faith lately. You know, mostly in my own understanding of it, the absence of faith, because not in any religious um, representation, but just in like something that is like intangible to me, something that I can't hold on to or grab or see or taste or smell. It's hard for me to buy in, right? It's hard for me to believe that it's going to just work out. Even though I like have these mantras with myself that everything is working, and that, just like I'm doing the right work. Like, why would I be doing the right work? Why would I be doing this work if I didn't believe that it was leading towards something wonderful? But in the efforts to doing all that stuff, it really does feel like it has to be in my control. And I'm the one that's leading the charge. And nothing else matters besides what I do, the choices that I make, and the relationships that I develop along the way, and the interactions that I have. It's all within the framework of how I organize this and set it up. Therefore, if my life is not working out the way that it feels like it should be, that is my fault, right? I hold myself accountable. I don't leave it up to God. I don't leave it up to destiny. I don't say, like, like what people always tell me, like, Julian, just stick with it, like your time is coming. And I really appreciate that sentiment. I do. And to a certain degree, I believe it, but I believe it because I know that there's work that I will continue to do to get to that space. Not because I'm entitled to it, not because I think that it's just going to happen because I deserve it. Um, I just don't know. It's such a hard thing to wrap my brain around. And I've been trying to really surrender to a lot of my own belief systems of, like, you need to do this, you must be this way, you have to keep working, you have to keep, like, white knuckling your way through this life so that you can, like, make this thing happen. This arbitrary thing. What is this thing? Right? Like, I'm an actor, I'm a creator, I'm an artist. I want to create. And so I do. It's my language. It is how I communicate with the world through art. When I don't have it, in the absence of my art or my creativity, I feel lost. I feel unsettled. And um I wonder how much of that is like a substitution from some kind of like addiction, right? I don't drink anymore. I haven't drank since the beginning of the year. So we're going on, like, 6.5 months, which is great. I've been like 3 years sober before, and I've come back and I've gotten back into, I played with sobriety for about 7.5 years now. And it's a fascinating subject for me. I used to get into this space when I stopped drinking for the first time. I would say, um, you know, there's a lot of things that are out of your control, but you're actually way more in control of your life than you give yourself credit for. And I think to a degree that's true. But I also need to reconcile with this idea that there's a lot of things that are out of my control. Oh, the puppies are barking. You hear them? That's Cooper puppy. Um, there's a lot of things that are out of my control. And I have to surrender to that and be okay with that and trust that, like, I don't have anything that I can do to help that situation. And so by surrendering, by giving over to, the belief that it's not for me to decide one way or another, is a really big step for me in a direction that I don't think I've been able to take before. Um, or maybe it's just a direction that I haven't been able to take in my, like, later adult life. I think at the juncture between when I was in my, like, early to mid 20s and I decided impulsively that I wanted to become an actor, I think a lot of things really shifted for me in a way that I went from being this kind of, like, very loosey goosey, careless, kind of like fun, charismatic, let the wind kind of carry me through life mentality to, okay, now I have a focus. Now I know what I'm going to do with my life. And therefore, I'm going to get really disciplined to ensure that not only that, like, it wasn't even that, like, I'm going to do that thing that I want to do. It was like that I'm going to make sure that everybody knows I did it. I did, like, that like the impression that I make is that, okay, I chose to be an actor. Now I got to go show everybody that I was able to do that. I don't know where that comes from. It's this ego thing, right? Of just like, I need to be the the person to like uh, show the world that I am worthy, not for myself, but for everybody else. It's just like, and only recently have I recognized that, first of all, nobody's paying attention to me. Secondly, nobody has expectations of me. And thirdly, if my identity is wrapped up in other people's impressions of who I am, then I haven't really given myself an opportunity to really like develop my own identity from a place of truth for me. Julian's fun, Julian's crazy, Julian's charismatic, Julian's wild, Julian's disciplined, Julian's hardworking, Julian's this, like XYZ, whatever. The list goes on. Okay, I can accept that. Those things are all true. I'm those things. But at my core, there's so much more that I haven't been able to really even spend time with, getting to understand. And so there's like this major part of me that's just kind of like left untouched, uncharted territory of my own soul, my own spirit, that I haven't given the opportunity to come out and show itself, not to anybody else, but just to myself. And so I feel like I'm in this space now, and it might just sound so like heady and, geez, Julian, what are you doing? Are you taking some fucking acid or something? Are you like, on drugs? No, I'm not. I'm on the contrary, like I'm very sober, and I'm having these sobering thoughts about who I am and why I have become the way that I have become, and how I can be more of the thing that I look forward to being in my future. And I think I'm kind of starting to, get on the train of like, what does faith look like? And what does like surrendering look like? What does letting go of my like stranglehold on my own need to be this thing for any other reason than self-love and connectivity to other people, in service of myself through the relationships I build in this world? What else is it for? Is it for everybody else? Am I trying to be me for the world, or am I trying to be me for me? I think if I can start to try to be me for me, the world is going to get a much better version of me. And I think I will start to connect to my art and my things even that much better. I think I've been like working 10 times harder to get to where I'm at because I haven't just let go. And I wonder if that resonates with any of you. Yeah, I'm so curious if this is something that people feel, because like, who teaches this? Who teaches you how to be a whole person? Um, it's personal work. It's work that you have to do on your own. And I have a feeling, and I'm not saying that I am even a whole person by any means. I'm definitely working on it. But I think there's a lot of people that get stuck in these patterns where they're they got a job, they got a family, they have their purpose, and they latch on to that, and that then kind of becomes their identity, and it gives them a level of satisfaction that is enough, whether that makes them content or not. I think people, I think a lot of people that I have spoke to, like, don't, and not necessarily the artists that I've spoke to on this podcast, but just people in the world that I've like connected with in different environments of my life. It's like at some point it's just like, I don't want to do the hard work anymore. I don't want to have to keep thinking that deeply. I don't want to go back and like relive these childhood traumas or hard times to to like, get myself out of that. I don't have to go back. I'm fine. I'm doing fine. I make money. I have a beautiful family. Look, we're on vacation in Hawaii right now. What a wonderful thing. This is so amazing. You're right. It totally is. And I'm not here to step in front of you and say that that's the wrong way to go about living your life at all. I think the blessing and the curse of my life is that I have become so thoughtful through my approach to becoming an actor, so thoughtful in my approach to understanding what art means to me, how I want to represent myself as an artist, that I have really looked inward and tried to figure out what makes me me. Because the more that I work on acting jobs, and let's say I'm in a class even, or working on a script, or doing some improvs, doing whatever exercise I'm doing within the the constructs of acting, I get to do something through somebody else's lived experience, but personalize it to my own. And so buying into that, really believing in that, not pretending to do that. I don't know how to pretend to do that. I'm not that good of an actor to like indicate that I am doing the thing that I need to be doing, right? Like I just really need to do it. Not that I need to like do heroin to be a heroin addict, but like I really need to find something that relates to me, that like makes it feel personal to me, so that I can like bring a real emotion to it. And in that pursuit of trying to find connectivity to something that is not me, I have exposed myself to a whole new slew of qualities about who I am. And then that poses a question. Well, wow, I didn't know in playing uh, a gay character that I had the capacity to love a man romantically in that in that regard. I didn't know, because I had to buy into it. And whoa, the ability to love a man, not because I have romantic feelings towards them, but I can cultivate those feelings in my pursuit to finding truth in that imaginative circumstance, right? From like the script that I'm doing and working on it. I'm a very straight guy, but at the same time, I have these qualities of myself that allow me to give in to these parts of myself that I wouldn't otherwise be giving into, and discovering new areas of who I am through that exercise, and just and coming on the other end being like, wow, I have so much empathy now for that thing that before I didn't even really consider. And wow, I am way more expansive than what I kind of assumed I was. I just thought I was this guy that liked to party and have a good time and like, have sex with girls and be this guy. Like again, it's not to be like, "Oh, now I know that I'm gay." It's not even that. It's just like, wow, you like in my core, I have the ability to understand life so much deeper and connect to something so much more beyond myself and what like I am conditioned to believe in, if I allow myself to experience it. If I give myself the permission to try to do something that scares the fuck out of me. And I think that's been the biggest benefit to my acting and just like to me as a creative person, is that I have been willing to scare the shit out of myself. I have been willing to get really fucking uncomfortable. I have been willing to look really stupid and fall on my face and be an absolute dipshit. That's not to say that that's the right way to do it, but I don't know an approach that will better serve the thing that I'm trying to accomplish. And in all of that, I have just discovered this this thing in me that is so much more powerful and so much more uh, eclectic and and different and um, expansive than what I thought I was yesterday and a handful of years ago and whenever, and that discovery is is leading me to want to make more of those discoveries and to continue to find more, because you're never there. You haven't just landed and been like, okay, now I understand it, I get me now, it's all there. And I have this like deep lust for understanding it more, not so that I can get an answer, just so that I can play more, be in different rooms, in different spaces, adapt to different situations better. It's such a it's such a currency, I feel like, to be able to have those skill sets and to be able to like be those types of people. You see people out in the world that are just like very confidently moving through the world, and they have this really nice understanding of themselves. They seem like they're very much just like in touch and in tune with themselves. And they must be doing the work, you know? It's not you don't just have that. You have to develop that. It's learned behavior. And maybe I was late to the game. I think I spent a lot of time just being a party boy, you know, distracting myself, wasting a lot of time, being like, this cute kid that could like get laid easily and, like access parties really simply. And it wasn't hard and nothing. I didn't have any consequences. I wasn't like getting in trouble enough for the actions that I was participating in. And I think about that a lot because it's just like the privilege that I had that I moved through life with. It's like, it's absurd. I should have been in trouble. I shouldn't have been allowed to do some of the things that I did. And I got away with doing so many things. And I wound up kind of being able to be like, okay, cool. Like, this isn't cute anymore. You don't need to be acting this way anymore. Like, step out of that phase of your life and into the phase of like, who do you want to be? And if that's who you want to be, then all right, Julian, the work starts now. Prove it, you know? Like, nobody's holding you back. So show up, be that guy, make that decision and do it. And it's been fucking hard. It's been really, really challenging to face myself and put the mirror back on me and be like, whoa, dude, like you have been it's not even that I've been a fraud or faking it, but I have just been doing it so hard and for so long with the wrong with the wrong intention, because it was never for me. I was never like being me for me. I was being me for you. I was being me for that guy and that girl. I just feel like I like wasted so much time and energy, and it's fine. It made me this person to have to ask these questions and to get to this place with myself. But I don't know, it's just it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff to ponder and be curious about. And it's led me to doing this podcast. It's led me to having these conversations with other people and talk to them about, like, how do you explore this space with yourself? How do you like tune into this and really feel all right by this discomfort? Because this is uncomfortable to be in this space. Um, and I'm trying to work really hard to get to a place where I feel like, ah, take a deep breath, fucking relax, go sit on a beach, just like chill and be easy. The work ethic is there. I'm always going to be able to show up and do what I need to do. But I get scared, because I'm like, well, what if it doesn't? What if I can't? What if like something happens? What if this? What if that? All these hypothetical ifs, and it just breaks me down. And it's like, well, once this, then that. Once I have money, then I'll start to really like, prioritize my finances. Once I, like get that big movie job, then, I'll really start to like make sense of my like acting life, because I'll have some like, I won't have anything to prove anymore. It's like, what do you have to prove anyways? Who do you need to prove anything to? I don't. I don't have anything to prove to anybody besides myself. And I don't even need to prove anything to myself. I've already done the things that I've done. I have so much to be grateful for. I have so many wonderful relationships with people that love me despite the fucking work that I put out into the world. And it's just talking to myself, This is me literally talking to myself. Yes, you're listening to me right now, and I'm talking to you, but I'm actually sitting in my studio right now just talking to myself. This is a conversation with myself. And that is a bizarre thing, but it's also like, I don't know, very reflective and very meditative and very therapeutic for me to be able to do this and to be honest and to be fucking transparent. I'm so tired of like trying to cover myself up and be this like version of myself that I think the whole world expects of me, and I want the world to see. I want to just be raw. I want to be real, and who I am as a real person is a wonderful person. And I'm sure who you are as the raw, vulnerable version of yourself is a wonderful person, probably even better than the one that's trying to like show off right now, if that's what you're maybe doing. And maybe I'm like, you're listening to this and being like, well, like Julian sounds like he's off his fucking rocker. um, and to that I say, fair enough. Have that opinion. I'm really trying to not let that affect me anymore. I'm really trying to not cater to. Oh, does that sound stupid? Does that make me seem like real or authentic enough? Was that funny enough? Am I funny? I've been struggling a lot with uh being like taking myself too seriously, because I've been in this like space of thoughtfulness, right? And introspection. And it's not like some of it's funny, sure. Like I have a lot of funny stories. I have a lot of like, you know, periods of my life that, crazy things were happening to me. And so there's like funniness that's going on. And I still have the ability to be funny when I want to be funny. And like, it's there. I access it all the time. But I sometimes judge the fact that like, oh man, taking myself so seriously. You should just like have some more levity, bring some more levity to all this stuff. And I am happy to. I will. And I'll continue to try. But it's like, again, going back to me judging myself, like, why are you so serious, Julian? Why are you being so like this way? And I have a lot of friends that have known me for a long time that would be like, God, dude, like, why can't you just be like the dumbass all over again? Like, why can't you just be the silly, like, fun, crazy one all over again? Because I think that makes people feel comfortable when they're like, oh, Julian's here. He'll be fucking stupid tonight. So it will take the fucking eyes off of me and allow me to be stupid because I know Julian's going to be more stupid. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I think I've certainly felt that way with other people before in my life, truth be told. And I don't know. That's a really toxic thing to consider, uh, people wanting me to fall back into old patterns and to be a version of myself that once was, because that version was for everybody else's comfort. No wonder they want me to do it back, because it made them comfortable. Yeah, I'm really good at making other people feel comfortable. Really good. And you know how it happens? At the expense of my own comfort. Every single time, no matter what. I'm great at it. And mostly just deal with it in a way that just feels natural to me at this point. It doesn't even really feel like it's affecting me that much because it is so conditioned in my approach to living life that I just like let it continue to identify with me and become like a part of who I am. And now I'm just like, I don't want that to be who I am anymore. I want to be me for me. I don't want to be me for you. I don't want to make you comfortable. I want to be comfortable. I want to feel good. I want to feel like the things that I'm doing, the decisions that I'm making are because I want to make them and they have nothing to fucking do with you, you know? And I like it's incredible that I have gone this long in my life without doing that, without building real boundaries around myself. Uh and I'm trying really hard now, and it's not going to be some overnight thing, but I think as I continue to move through all of this stuff and get to a place where I actually trust who I am and surrender to a lot of the things that I have been conditioned by, um, I'll start to see a lot of change happening just kind of like in the aura of what I get to exist within. And I look really forward to that. I'm not going to like expect that something like tangible will happen. Because that's always the thing. You're like, oh, like once I like stop trying to be an actor so hard, like then all of a sudden I'll start like booking work and I'll just be the fucking biggest star in the planet and it'll be great. It's just like, no, dude, like, and then so you're like trying to manufacture that like sexy indifference, right? Like, I don't actually fucking care. Nah, it doesn't really matter to me. But you like, it doesn't work, right? So you're like, you really have to not fucking care. And how do you do that? How do you get there? How do you have mm, just like a sense of yourself that is so confident that you're just like, I know that I'm good. And I know that what will be will be. And and I put joy at the forefront of my daily life because why wouldn't I? Like life is short. We gotta fucking like seize the moment and just like enjoy this shit, right? Sure, we want to put stuff out into the world and have some kind of impact and do something and have some purpose with this small amount of time that we have while we're here. Of course, great. That's noble. Go for it. Here I am. I'm doing it in my little way. But like figure out how to do it in a way that doesn't destroy you. And that's where I'm at, trying to figure out how to not destroy myself in the process of doing all this stuff. How to stop biting my fingernails, how to stop, you know, clenching my jaw, how to stop, just feeling tense, how to do some more yoga, how to take a break and, watch a like TV show at 2 p.m. in the afternoon for no fucking reason whatsoever. I got so many things to like to do and to not do, and I have so many valuable people in my life that have been like, yeah, man, like, of course. But it's like, of course, what? Sure. Like, yeah, okay. Like, if this makes sense for you, then it makes sense for you. And I'm happy for you. But it's only starting to make sense for me. And I'm really trying to uh, navigate my way through all of this in a way that helps me get to a place of grace that, you know, just feels right. And I'm grateful, that I got cool people in my orbit. And, a lot of things are going on right now for me in my life. There's a lot of transition happening. Um, I don't really want to get into too many of the details because it's personal and I'll wait for her to share it with me. But Rachel and I, we're going through a real tricky time this year, getting her moving out here from Florida over to New York and really kind of like expediting our situation. And it was very hard. It was a very hard situation for both of us. And we have worked through it, and we have gotten out on the other side of it. We're currently getting onto the other side of it. Um, and we're moving into a new spot by ourselves. That's beautiful. It's like the nicest. It's the level up home that I haven't had yet here in New York. I'm very excited. We're gonna be there come August 1st, and it's gonna be a new chapter, and it's gonna be with her. And I'm really looking at this relationship in a way that I haven't looked at a relationship before. And I'm showing up in a new way as a man, and I'm trying to take responsibility and hold myself accountable to what I can do and how I can bring myself to this relationship, in ways that don't like make me a coach or like a, like a mentor or a, like encouraging guy that I like to be for like all these other people. I'm not trying to be like some like inspirational life coach to my girlfriend. I'm trying to be like a partner who loves her, and I hope to reciprocate, or for her to reciprocate that love back to me, and for us to like build this thing. And I just feel like I feel like I have had one foot in, one foot out my whole life in romantic relationships with the people that I've been with. And when I think long about it, it makes a lot of sense. I think because of the circumstances of my life and how my parents divorced when I was 11, uh, kind of like out of nowhere for me, because I didn't expect it, because I thought we had this perfect family dynamic. And then it was all pulled out from under me, like all in the span of 30 minutes, really. Obviously it went on for 25 years, but like, and on. But this moment comes back to me a lot, not even in ways that I'm thoughtful of, but just in how I interact with my own experience. Because I think, and I can see this through my relationships with my romantic partners that I've had. I have been afraid that the rug is going to get swept out from under me. That if the people that I love and trust with every ounce of my being can fucking flip it all upside down and dump it all out, and it can just become like the exact opposite from what I believed it was supposed to be, then how am I supposed to like move through life expecting that like other people aren't going to do that? These are the people that I love the absolute most. My family, they are my protectors, my people, my love, my joy, my heart, my everything. And if they can betray me, and if they can, like pull the rug out from under me, then why can't some girl that I fall in love with? And why would I let myself get that close to somebody if that can happen? So there's this protective coat that I've been wearing for so long, my whole life, or at least since I was 11. Um, and I'm trying to fucking take it off. I'm trying to take it off. I'm trying to take off this armor. I'm trying to expose myself. I'm trying to surrender to the fear that uh, I'm going to be hurt, because even if it does, even if the rug does get swept out from under me, I'm alive. I'm still here. I've had really significant breakups throughout my life, and I've been traumatized by them because they're so painful, as we all know. And eventually you get through it. I remember my first breakup. I was with a girl for 7 years, from 17 to 24, and we broke up. And I made the mistake. I actually cheated on her, and it was a terrible mistake. Um, but it was also like something that I was doing as like a cowardly response to like a relationship that wasn't working anymore at that point, because I wasn't a man, and I was just a little boy. I hadn't grown up. I hadn't figured out. I wasn't equipped with like the emotional wherewithal to like deal with that in a real mature way. And so cheating felt like my kind of escape route. And I had a girl that was like wonderful, that made that available for me at the time, and it just all kind of like played out that way. And I told her the next day. I didn't waste any time. um I told her, and she said, I never want to see you again. We lived together. We had dogs together. We had cats together. We had a life. We were domestic partners. It was like we were, we were each other's people our whole lives. And I walked out of our apartment that day after she said, I never want to see you again. I never saw her again. I still haven't to this day seen her, which is, bizarre, because you know somebody so well until you just like don't know them anymore at all. And then you're just like, whoa, you're left with this like memory. And it's so weird. And I remember the aftermath of that relationship, because I had cheated. I felt like I was like the I was the proponent of this. Like, I instigated this breakup. I did the crime, right? I was the bad guy in the situation. And so I dealt with so much shame, so much guilt, so much pain for so long. It was the impetus really for me to become an actor and move to New York. But I was so distraught. And I remember feeling like I will never, ever get over this. I will never be okay from this situation ever again. If there was a period of time in my life that I felt like possibly suicidal, it was that time, because I was just so lost and so hurt by my own doing. And the point of this story is to say that I don't think about her at all anymore until I tell this story to bring it back up. And so it's just like, you're gonna be okay, you know? Like, no matter how bad something hurts, like my parents' divorce, that was like the biggest, most painful thing in that moment. And it continued, it lingered with me. But there are aspects of me in my life that I still carry with me because I haven't resolved these things with myself. So they just are still with me. I still carry them. It's probably part of the reason why I cheated to begin with that relationship. I'm sure it has to do with the reason why I had one foot in, one foot out of the next relationship that I got in, and then the next relationship that I got in. And then guess what? This relationship that I'm currently in, I'm doing the same patterns over and over and over again. And it's just like, enough, Julian. Fucking knock it off, dude. Show up the way that you want to show up. Be the fucking man that you say you want to be. I'm sick and tired of you not being the fucking man that you said you were going to be. Just fucking show up, dude. Just fuck, dude. Like, it's just like, it's like, it's so painful for me to have to like recognize that I have been doing this over and over and over again with myself for so long, for so many years, because like I didn't realize that I didn't know that I was that I was one foot in, one foot out. I just felt like I was in it. I just felt like I was doing the right things because that was what I was equipped to believe. That was what I was equipped with in order to believe what I was doing was right. And I I just let it get the best of me. I let my my conscience, my negative, my the drill sergeant yelling at me lead the way. And I've done that for a long time. And I'm really done, or I'm really excited to be done, being in that space and really giving myself the grace to like show up the way that I want to, because I know that once I can, I'll be unstoppable in so many wonderful ways, in ways that really make me have liberation in a way that I've never had before, because I've been trapped within myself. And I'm excited to not be that way anymore. I'm excited to show up for my friends and for my family and for my peers and for my colleagues and, obviously mostly for myself. But like, I'm just excited to show up like in this way that doesn't require me to like work so hard. And it's not because it hasn't been like fun all along the whole way. I've been having a blast. I've had a wonderful life. None of that is to like discredit or say like everything has been so hard or for this to be like a complaint by any means. It's not. I just have to get out of my own way and learn how to be um, surrendered. You know, that's it. Just surrendered to what is not for me. Uh, and so I look forward to this next chapter. I think it's going to be a really beautiful one. And I think that the the stuff that comes out of it, the art that comes out of it, the experiences that come out of it, and just that's just the feeling that I get from it all is going to be something that I think I'm going to finally be proud of. I wonder. I wonder if I'll be able to be proud of myself. I hope so. I'm working on it. I know I've done really cool things. I know I'm continuing to try to do really cool things. I'm trying to take it easy on myself. I'm not trying to be like so hard or overthink my way through all this stuff. I don't know. You tell me. You think I'm like, are you just like, shut up, Julian? Like, just shut up and fucking go take a bath or something? Or like, what do you think? Can you reach out and let me know how you think? It would mean a lot to me if you would send me a message and let me know if and or how this talk resonated with you. Um, if you related to any of it, if it hit home in any areas, if you have like, suggestions or advice or guidance, like I already have therapy, guys, don't worry. I think a lot of this is coming from that space. But if you have, like questions, concerns, ideas, thoughts, whatever, um, would you share them with me? That would be really cool. And I will definitely, you know, respond. Um, and we can chat because I'm creating a community here and it's great. I love this community. It's been really warm and welcoming from the people who have been reaching out since I started it. And yeah, I just want to kind of, extend the invite to this friendship. If you're here, uh, I don't know. I wouldn't even call you like a fan. I just call you like a friend. You're probably just like a friend, a person that like knows me in some capacity. Um, has had some kind of interaction with me at some point. And if you haven't, just still reach out, please. Um, you can find me if you don't already have me on Instagram at Julian Gavilanes. Um, this podcast is at the precipice of delusion, and shoot me, slide into them DMs. You know what I'm saying? Um, and let's talk because I am curious and I want to know what you think. Wow. What a time, guys. I start moving this week. Rachel and I just closed on our new place. It is so beautiful. I'm going to have a new studio where I'm going to be podcasting. Yeah, it really does feel like a level up. We have so much space, so much room for activities and dance parties. I can't wait to have fucking giant dinner parties with fucking goblets of Martinelli's. Ooh, dude, I'm gonna make us some mac and cheese and tomatoes. Watch out. It is gonna be nice. If you're ever in New York, please reach out to me. If you're here in New York already, let's hang out. I'm trying to be friends more. I'm trying to go have some more fun. The summer is like halfway through already, and I just feel like I've been just like grinding. Um, but I have been working a lot. There's a lot of things going on that I don't want to really share too much about because it always makes me feel like if I put the work that I'm doing out into the world, then it like makes it feel less real. And I don't know. I just like it to speak for itself when it, is really happening. So, but just know that there's a lot of really cool things on the horizon that I'm excited to share with you guys. I'm excited to like tap into this new version of myself that I am really working towards becoming. And I'm excited to just share myself with you guys more. I'm excited for these new episodes that are coming out. Um, I got some really, really cool talks, and you'll hear I'm talking about faith quite a bit in some of these new episodes, just because it's kind of been at the top of my mind lately. Um, but but yeah, man, if you guys listen to this whole episode, thank you so much. That means so much to me, and I'm just so grateful for you. It's a really cool privilege to know that people care enough to hear me out and you know uh maybe hopefully feel like they're not alone, you're not alone in feeling the ways that I'm feeling as well, because it's tough out here, trying to get through life and just navigate being a good person and having a good time and working through the things that we suffer through and struggle with. um, Personal identity, insecurity, inadequacy, all these things. We're all so imperfect, and that is what makes us so fucking wonderful. And if we could just have a little bit more empathy towards one another and really understand that like those qualities of us exist if we give ourselves permission to interact with them, uh maybe we wouldn't have such a hard time feeling so like divided and stuff. Not that I'm trying to get into like anything political or in that regard, but um yeah, I don't know, guys. Feeling grateful. Thank you for letting me share. It feels like a weight off my chest. I'm feeling kind of like a little bit lighter now. What an interesting thing. It's just talking to myself in my studio. Yeah, thanks, guys. I truly love you so much. This means the world that you would tune in. Yeah, holler back at me whenever. If you guys want to get on my Patreon page, you can do that. It's at patreon.com/the precipice of delusion. I'm putting up some conversations I had recently. I'm going to put up an old conversation I had with EJ Warland, another conversation that I had with Sun Little. I just did another one with Sun Little recently that's going to be coming out soon. I got some big ones coming up, guys, so stay tuned. It's going to be very fun. I'm going to put some more like audition tapes and some more puppet shows up on the Patreon page. Show up, see what it's all about. It's pretty fun, I promise. I love you guys, truly. Thank you for being a friend. Down the road again. I don't know how the song goes. And a confidant. All right. Well, I will see you guys next week. Hit me up. I love you. Now that's what I'm talking about.